All praises and double honors. But all praises and double honors due. See, that's cool. All praises and double honors due to Yahweh Shemi Shai. For it's beautiful that the Most High brought us here on another mighty Shabbat. Today's mighty Sabbath service and lesson is what it means to be a mighty man. Right? Today and age, I'm not going to tell you how to be a mighty man. I'll tell you how to be a woman, how to be a cat, how to be a dog, how to be anything but a man of the Lord. We're going to tell you how to worship this and then dress like that, but they're not going to do it, thus said the Most High.
To walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses.
Or that you do, because you're keeping the charge, the commandments, the statutes, and even the judges that the Lord commanded you. You can bring out Sirach 30 and 4.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30, and verse 4. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Right. And when David gave up the ghost and Solomon took in his steed, hey, how was Solomon? He was mighty through the Spirit. He did mighty, wonderful works in the eyes of God, right? And before men. All because he kept the charge and the commandments. And he wasn't moving in a weak way. He wasn't feeble. He didn't have a weak conscience, right? Go ahead.
For he have left one behind him that is like himself.
Right, as like himself, a reflection of himself. And that's what a mighty man will do. Because, that within itself shows you how mighty David is, because he raised up his children. Right, and he told them to keep the commandments. There's so many components to being a mighty man in this truth. Even having a household in order. Even knowing when to discern spirits. Even knowing when to foresee evil. Even knowing when there's a time to joke around and a time to be serious. There's so many components and points on being a mighty man in this truth. Can you bring out 1 Corinthians? Let me pull it up real quick. 1 Corinthians, where's that at? Where I spoke as a child. 1 Corinthians 13 and 11.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man...
When I what?
When I became a man...
Go ahead.
I put away childish things.
Right, put away childish things. And childish things can be a lot of things. It could be a certain sense of humor. It could be a lifestyle. It could be the way you speak to people. It could be a lot of things. But nevertheless, we're reading that Paul wrote to the church of Corinth, full of men, hey, I put away childish things. This is Paul displaying himself to be a mighty man through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai. So with that, we go to Sirach. It's like your 2 Timothy 2 and 10.
This is 2 Timothy 2 and 10. Therefore, I endure all things.
What?
I endure all things.
Go ahead.
For the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai with eternal glory.
Right, which also means being a mighty man, you have to make sacrifices. You have to endure. That's the key word. Can we Google that word up for sure? What does it mean to endure?
I got it right.
We're going to read it off.
Oh, God.
That's cool. We're going to read it off the screen. It says remain in existence. And I like this. It says last. Can you last? Can you hold on? Can you abide in this truth? Can you endure all things for the elect's sake, for your family? Although you may have had a rough week, although, the work has been kicking your ass, you got 13 kids, can you endure in the eyes of God? And really, chiefly, to be that mighty example for brothers. Right. And it says to suffer something painful or difficult, but it also says patiently. So, you gotta have patience in this thing as well. Mighty man isn't always just to kind of ball up your fist and kind of slam it on the table. Saying, give me some land. You're pulling out your sword and you're blowing your shofar every 15 minutes. And you're yelling at somebody. That's not what a mighty man is. All right, a mighty man has a lot of attributes, which are found in the scriptures. We're going over just a few, we're gonna go over some more, right? Patience. Can you endure, right? Raising up the family. Endure. Can you breathe? To be brave, can you put up with?
Right.
Are you resistant, right? Are you stoic? Can you Google that word as well?
That's T-O-U-T.
Stoic. A person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. And that's also what it means to be a man. You know, a brother told me a week ago or two, somebody else asked him, how you doing? Well, he said, well, look, I'll be honest. It's not looking too good. But I'm enduring because I got the Lord on my side. Ain't nothing worth complaining about. Now, you know, you can take that however you want, but I take that as, oh, wow, that's a mighty answer. You know, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, expressing how you feel and kind of going to brothers, etc. But at that moment, it was a mighty answer because not everything has to be said. Not everything has to be, you know, complained about. Sometimes you got to take it and endure it. Same way our forefathers went through it. You think Yahushua spoke of everything that was on his mind? Everything? Lie. That's why he went into the wilderness and threw up the prayer. And that's what you got to do. Because Yahushua himself is a mighty man. You read about all the mighty actions and works of a mighty man in the scriptures. All you got to do is open up the Bible. You get two more. You get Revelation 1 and 3.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
Blessed is he that what?
Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he that readeth. Right? You're going to be very blessed if you read. Simple as that. If you can read the scriptures, then you can read how to be a mighty man. Don't open up the magazine. Don't go on TV. Don't look up these damn celebrities. They won't teach you how to be a mighty man. 2 Chainz is not going to tell you about the precepts. P. Diddy and Boosie, they're not going to tell you how to break this down. Lil Uzi Vert, who else is a rapper? I don't know.
Skilla Baby.
Yeah, so many damn rappers are not going to teach you how to be a mighty man. Half of them wear dresses. And half of them wear earrings. Drake just painted his nails. They wearing skirts. What's that one Latino rapper? Bad Bunny, that's his name. Bad Bunny. People wearing dresses. These men aren't this world, this modern day age, they will teach you and sit down and crack open a Bible and teach you how to be a man through the Spirit, through experiences and through counsels and through a multitude of other things. They're not going to do that. So that's why we're doing a Sabbath service, what it means to be a mighty man. And we're going to bring out a lot of precepts and articles. Abarazazai, Israel get edified. So with that, I give.
Quick precept, get a Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 11. So the brother bringing it out, man. Right, what it means to be a mighty man. Right? You knowing all the precepts and knowing the deep breakdowns in Daniel and the book of Revelation, that don't make you a mighty man. If you still struggling with damn sin, if you still damn committing adultery behind closed doors, right? If you still fornicating, right? If you still being a lion in your house, you knowing all those precepts is not going to profit you. Right? So bring out this, King.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 11.
Right?
Therefore, beware of murmuring.
What the Lord say?
Therefore, beware of
Right,
murmuring.
so like the brother Yardon was bringing out, we have to beware of complaining. Look up that word murmuring, brother. Right? And if you murmuring all damn day, that's not the attributes of a man of the Lord. Right? I work with this one Edomite, all he do is complain. Oh, I hate this job, man. Oh, I'm so over it. Well, just leave them, man. Right? Just pack up your bags and get the hell on. Right? And it be kind of vexing my spirit because, look, I'm a man, straight up and down. I don't want to hear another man keep complaining all damn day.
Right.
Right? So the Lord said, beware of murmuring. Your complaining shows your lack of faith in the Lord. It's impossible to please the Lord without faith when you read Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6. So bring out that definition, brother.
It's right here.
Right? Try to read it for me.
That was like.
Yeah, to murmur, it says to murmur means to grumble or whine.
To what?
To grumble or whine.
Stop whining, man. And that's one of the worst things to hear a grown man, right, in his 20s, in his 30s, whining. Right? You tell that brother, gird up thy loins. Get the book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 3. Right? So, getting out in tribulation, affliction, and coming out unstained. right, with your chest up, right, with your head held high, with some dignity and some trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. Bring this out.
It's the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 3.
Right?
Gird up now thy loins.
Do what?
Gird up now thy loins.
Gird up now thy loins.
Right.
Look up that phrase, gird up thy loins. Right? This was a phrase in the ancient world, in other words, to pretty much harden yourself. Right? Bring this up. Get through it.
Right?
It says to prepare yourself, work hard.
Do what?
To prepare yourself, work hard.
Keep reading.
It says when it was time to work, the long tunic would get in the way. They brought the loose ends and tucked them into the girdle, which gave the legs freedom of movement. This was called girding up your loins. In the gospel usage, girding up your loins means to prepare yourself, work hard, and give service in the kingdom.
That's right. So in other words, man up. Right? You have to man up as a man of the Lord. Right? Whatever trials and afflictions you're going through, you have to cast it upon the Lord. And this is why the Lord gave us brothers to exhort us. Give me Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 13. Because sometimes you're going to get faint-hearted. But that's why you got other mighty, like-minded men around you to exhort you to keep pushing forward to the kingdom. Right? But you got to have it in your mentality that you're going to push through. Even if you didn't have thousands of brothers around you, you still got to have that mentality, I'm not going to give up. I got the Lord on my side. Because it's going to come a time where you're not going to have the luxury of counseling and talking to brothers all the time. The scriptures say in Jacob's trouble, we're going to be like pilgrims on the earth. So the Lord might scatter us abroad, and it's just going to be you in that day, right? And the so-called white man running you down with an M16, and you trying to figure out how you're going to feed your family. That's when your faith is going to be tested. Bring this up.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 3 and verse 13.
Right?
But exhort one another daily.
But do what?
But exhort one another daily.
Right, so a part of being a man is understanding exhortation. Right, sometimes you got to exhort your household, exhort your wife, exhort your children. Right, you should be in that spirit, man. Right, what we say, camp is only 30% of the work. Right, it's more work that you have to do because you got 6 weeks, man. You got 6 weeks. Right, what are you doing within those 6 days? What are you doing within those 6 days, man? You only go to camp 2 times out the week. Right, so you got to make sure you operate in the spirit all throughout the week, not just on camp.
That's right.
Bring this up.
God. But exhort one another daily while it is called today.
Right, so daily you got to exhort your household. Daily pray with your household. Right, your household going to go through things, man. Right, that's part of trials and affliction. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 2. Right, it's inevitable. Every brother in here, every sister upstairs, we're going to have to catch hell. Right, the scriptures say through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. Right, so one attribute of a man of the Lord is having the ability to endure. Right, because if you don't got endurance or spiritual stamina, you're going to gas out and the Lord going to kick you out this truth. Right, imagine you running a race, you in the Olympics, and you just gas out and fall and then just quit. And you're not going to get that prize, man. When we read 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, Paul said, a run that ye may obtain. So we got to run, we got to push forward, we got to have resilience. Look up that word resilience, brother. A lot of men don't have resilience, man. Right? That's why they resort to things like drugs, right? Freaking off. Right? They use these different crippling agents to mask their pain. And when we feel in pain, we got to go to the Lord, man.
Right.
That's in Matthew chapter 11, verse 27. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So we got to go to the Heavenly Father to give us that everlasting rest.
Right.
Now bring this up.
Resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness.
It said what?
Toughness.
You got to be tough within this knowledge. Right? Give me Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12 real quick.
It's the book of
Matter of
Hebrews.
fact, Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. Right? So you got to have spiritual toughness within this knowledge. Right? It's like a boxing match, man. You got 12 rounds, and that's spiritual. Right? You fighting your opponent, you getting gassed out. And guess what? The boxers, they always take a break when they corner. They get a little water break, they get a prep talk. So we all need that prep talk. We all need that water break sometimes. That's a part of this fight. Bring this up.
It's Hebrews 12 and 1.
Start getting the water is the knowledge of the Lord, man.
That's right.
I gotta clear that up. That's the water break. Right? Going to the words of Yahweh Shah. And you should be getting water constantly, day in and day out. Eating of this bread, getting spiritually fed. Right? Because imagine you going to a boxing match and you ain't ate in 5 weeks. Hey, you gonna be going to the hospital, man. Hey, the boxing ring is the last place you need to be. Right? Because you're gonna get devoured by your adversary. So you gotta make sure you're well fed and well nourished up in the knowledge of the Lord to be able to put on this fight. Now bring this up.
It's the book of Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses,
Right?
let us lay aside every weight.
You gotta lay aside the different weights, right? These different different sins you're dealing with, right? Different transgressions, different spirits that's plaguing you. You gotta put it aside. Read on.
And the sin which doth so easily beset us,
Read on.
and let us run.
Let us do what?
And let us run.
Let us run. Right? When you check out a track runner, they don't have on damn 30 pounds worth of clothes. Right? They got on the damn what's the yeah, ankle weights, right? They kind of running with the dumbbells. That's folly, man. They gotta take, they kind of wear loose clothing when they going for that run. Keep reading.
God. And let us run with patience.
Let us do what?
Let us run with patience.
Let us run with patience, man. Right? If you running a 1600s, 4 laps around the track, you're gonna run with patience. You're not just gonna sprint. Right? As soon as they say go, you gotta pace yourself within this truth, man. Read on.
The race that is set before us.
Right? So, in other words, you gotta trust the process. Give me Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6. A lot of brothers don't trust the process, man. A lot of brothers, they come into this thing, it's something to be a part of, it's a fad, it looks cool, right? It's the so-called woke community, right? And Jake love it, man. They see the sisters with the hair wraps, with the dresses on. They're like, oh man, what's this about? I ain't never seen this before. Oh man, right? This is something to be a part of. This ain't something to just be a part of, man. Right? I was telling a brother the other day, this is your lifestyle. You gotta make this truth about your life, man. Right? You gotta be prepared to be in that truth for the long haul. Some brothers they got a 10-year time span on knowledge. Yeah, they got expiration dates. Some brothers take years off. There was one brother that said, look, I'm taking a year off, man. It is what it is. Yeah, sabbatical,
Sabbatical leave.
you can't take a sabbatical leave in this knowledge, man. You gotta be constant, day in and day out. This has to be your lifestyle. You have to live and breathe this knowledge. And that's the mentality that you should have. Because you got elders that have been in this truth for 25 years, 30 years. Just imagine everything they seen. They seen prophecies coming to pass. Right? They seen all these different things. Right? And it's not, you got to have patience within this knowledge. Right? Bring this up.
Hebrews 11:6. But without faith.
But without what?
But without faith.
But without faith, read on.
It is impossible to please him.
Right? So it's impossible to please the Lord without faith. So as a man, you have to have faith. Give me Job chapter 2 and verse 10. Right? That's what it is, man. You have to have faith. Right? You got to have faith when you have a household, when you got a wife, when you got children. Because sometimes they're going to get weak and weary in the spirit. Right? Women are a weaker vessel. Right? So you got to be able to exhort your wife. Right? And if you're going through it and you're kind of crying and you're stressing out and you're plucking out your hair, and your wife going to start bugging out, man. Because she follows after your spirit. Right? You start getting nervous and you start complaining. She said, oh my goodness. Well, what you want me to do about it? Right? Right? And then all hell breaking loose. Then y'all getting into it and y'all bugging out. Hey brother, if you have faith, that's not going to happen, man. You're going to tell her, look, I got this. It is what it is. I'm going to call on the name of the Lord. And you put in works behind your faith. Now bring this up.
It's the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh.
Start at verse 9. Right? And every brother in this room should have read the book of Job. Straight up and down. Right? This is a very profitable book.
That's right.
This is a very profitable book.
That is.
Right? Because Job went through it, man. Job lost his children. Job had boils. Job friends kind of rised up against him. Go ahead, brother.
I had a quick precept.
Come on, you can bring it out.
James chapter 4 and it's like,
Verse 7.
no, I think 5 and 12.
Come on.
It's like 5 and
James
10.
5 and 12. Yeah.
5 and 10.
Come on.
It's the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Right?
Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord.
Right, and all the prophets, they spoke in the name of the Lord. Right, Jeremiah. Right, it tell you how Jeremiah was thrown in the dungeon. Right? In Lamentations, the 5th chapter. Right, and also Jeremiah, I believe, the 38th chapter. Right, so imagine being cast down in the dungeon. Right, the scriptures say they're going to lock us up and cast us in the prisons and the concentration camps. We got to be able to keep that faith. Keep reading, brother.
For an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience, behold, we count them happy which endure.
We count them happy which endure. Read on.
Ye have heard of the patience of Job.
Right, so as a man, another attribute to have that makes you a mighty man is patience. Jake don't know about patience, man. Give me Proverbs 14 and 17. This is all something we could work on. Right, you might have those days where hey man, you get angry, you get wrathful, right? You get mad, vexation of spirit, but you got to know how to maintain and have rule over your spirit, because anger, that's a natural emotion that man has, but you got to learn how to control that emotion, right? It's something called emotional intelligence. Look up that word real quick, brother. Emotional intelligence. Jake don't have this, man. You look at Jake wrong, dude, what you looking at? What? Right? They put out a damn gun. I mean, we see it all day at camp, man. Brothers that don't know how to rule over their spirit, most likely was raised with a single black mother, right, that hated the father, and she was always yelling at the kids and had no rule over her spirit, and that spirit hops on that man. Bring this out, emotional intelligence.
Says the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetic.
You see that? So pretty much controlling your spirit, man. It's gonna be times when you get vexed. It's gonna be times when you get angry. There's gonna be some times you feel that emotion of wrath, which really is a demon. But you gotta learn how to control it and tame that spirit. Right? Read on. And say, emotional intelligence is the key to both personal and professional encounter. Right? That's what it says. That's what it say? So like that. No, gotta put these things on, man. Break this up.
Proverbs 14 and 17.
Right?
He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly.
He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. Read on.
And a man of wicked devices is hated.
That's right. You got it, brother.
Yeah, I got a precept. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Right? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Going into this anger, man.
It's
Right.
Ephesians
Bring
5. Ephesians 5 and 26. That he might
It's like
sanctify.
at 4 26, like,
This is Ephesians 4 and 26.
right?
Be ye angry and sin not.
Right, so the Lord said, be ye angry and sin not. Right, so anger, again, is just a natural emotion. The Lord gets angry. Right, the Lord was angry. Now, if the Lord acted out of emotion, we would have been destroyed, and we would have all been Moabites. Right, if he acted angry. Because he was going to destroy all Israel out of anger. But he controlled his emotion and didn't act on that anger. So you can be angry, but you have to step out the situation and say, you know what, it wouldn't be wise to, act out of order and sin, hold a grudge, and do all foolishness. You keep reading that.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Right, so you don't be mad 4 days later, man, 5 months later. Right? You don't let the sun go down on your wrath. You can deal with it accordingly, man. Right, you got a point?
I got a quick precept.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs 25 and 28.
Right?
He that have no rule over his own spirit
Right, you have no rule over your emotion, your spirit, right?
is like a city that is broken down and without
You
walls.
see that? Because you don't have that protection over your own spirit. Right? You don't got walls over your city. Now people can easily infiltrate. You can easily make someone mad or sad or whatever. You can control them. You can easily enter and infiltrate that city. I got some more precepts to bring
I
up.
got you. This Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 1. A wise son heareth his father's instruction. Your father's instruction is the Bible. But a scorner heareth not rebuke. Right? So as a man of the Lord, you also have to be willing to accept rebuke. Right? It's not mighty if you prideful all the time. Oh, brother, I've been there. I've done that, brother. I know what I'm doing. No, brother, you don't know what you're doing because your house out of order. Right? And it says, a man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressor shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. So you have to know when to shut the hell up, man. Right? Even when we out there teaching, you can't provoke the spirit, man. Now sometimes you gotta rebuke Jake, get on him. It's all according to how the spirit leads within that time. But sometimes you just gotta chill. Hey, brother, you got it, brother. Have a nice day. Because you already see that demon on him, man. But if you keep poking at that spirit, you might get hurt, brother. Right? And we're not out there to get hurt, man. We out there to wake up Israel. Right? We're not out there on the suicide mission. Yeah, we out here to get hurt. We out here to rumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. No, we're not in that spirit, man. We in the spirit of waking up our people. And if those things are presented to us, we accept it. Right? Because we understand that comes with the territory. We have to count the cost. But the point I'm making is you have to keep your mouth so you can keep your life. Meaning have rule over your tongue. Right? And that anger spirit, that can dictate what you say out your mouth, man. You get mad in the moment, you say all type of folly. We all been there and done that. You saying all type of folly. You and your rib getting into it. Right? Y'all cussing each other out, calling each other out y'all name. It's all manner of demons, man. So you have to keep your mouth so you can keep your life. You got it, brother.
That's very important. You know, Romans 12:17.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 17.
Right?
Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
You see that? Provide things honest in the sight of all men. You don't always got to get your get back, man. That's not being a mighty man. I keep reading.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you,
Right? If it's possible, right, read.
live peaceably with all men.
Right, you got to live peaceably with all men. Right? Like we was going into before the class started, that sweet language, multiplying friends. Right? You don't want to just be a a-hole, huh? Right? Just out here just thinking you a mighty man and cussing people out and not knowing how to deal with people. Right? You got to live peaceably with all men. You don't go around telling Esau, hey, kiss the boot, and you at work. Right? You kind of supposed to greet people at the door, but you kind of saying, Esau, you going to slavery. Now you lose your job, now you can't take care of your family. So, you got to live peaceably with all men. Right? You reading?
Verse 19, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine.
Right? Vengeance is of the Lord. So the Most High will do all the recompense. Right? We just supposed to be sheep, harmless, docile creatures, man. We just preaching the words of the Lord. We gonna defend ourselves, whatever the case may be. But we not out here to be just chest poked out and just think we know everything, man. Right? That's not being a mighty man. Right? Get Proverbs 17, verse 27.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 27.
Right?
He that have knowledge spareth his words.
Right, so if you have knowledge, you spare your words. You don't have to always say so much, man. They always say the loudest one in the room. You hear that all the time. Right? You don't want to be the loudest one in the room, man. Right? Everywhere you go, you just kind of spewing out this knowledge every second of the day. Right? You at your mama house, you say, well, this is an abomination. Just check the ingredients. And you told her 5 times already, man. There's no point to keep repeating it over and over. Right? Keep reading it.
And a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
And that word excellent is going into calm, right? Like when we was going into stoic. That's literally what stoic is. It's going into, it says characterized by a calm, austere fortitude. Right, so you got a calm spirit, man. You're not overly emotional. You always calm. You got rule over your spirit. You're not saying too much. This all goes into being stoic. But you got a precept?
I had a point.
Yeah, you bring it
It's
up.
a quote. It says the loudest one in the room is the weakest.
Right.
Alright. That's it.
Exactly. Loudest one in the room is the weakest, man. Right? So that's what it's saying. Like, if you got real knowledge, you not just be quick to spew it all out. I bring it up because I got more on this precept.
This First Maccabees chapter 9 and verse 14. Now when Judas perceived that Bacchus and the strength of his army on the right side, he took with him all the hardy men. Right? So you had hardy men during the time of Judas Maccabeus, man. Right? So you have to have that same spirit of being hardy. Look up that word hardy real quick, brother.
Hardy is going to strong,
They wasn't
sturdy,
weakly
tough.
Salaki, they wasn't weakly, they wasn't feeble, right? They didn't faint, they didn't have needs of water. No, they were hardy men. Bring this up.
Right? It's robust, capable of enduring difficult situations.
Robust.
Vigorous, tough, sturdy, rugged.
Woo. Rugged. Sturdy. Right? So that's the attributes of a man. Right? And a real woman like the men that start that's hardy, man.
That's right.
That's stout, that's rugged. Eve tell you, man, I like my man rugged. Right? They'll tell you that, man. Now, of course, they're gonna look for damn Tyrone that been shot at about 5 times. They got a damn $150 across his face, and they think that's a rugged man.
Yeah, that's not a rugged man. If you don't got control over his emotions.
He can't control himself, man. That's why he always putting himself in harm's way.
Yes.
Right? Hey, now, a real man of the Lord, that's a real rugged man right there. Right? You're not goofing around all the time, jumping up and down, wearing the damn clown nose. The little damn clown, man. You can't be a clown. You can't be a clown in this truth. Right? This is Ronald McDonald. You can't be Ronald McDonald in this truth, man. You have to be hardy. You have to be stout. You have to be austere like I wish I was. Right, brother. Quick precept. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 28.
Yeah.
And it reads, and it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. Right, so when you speak, you gotta speak with authority as a man. You can't be shalom, brother. Shalom, brother. Right, you gotta have that spirit about yourself. You gotta have confidence as a man.
Right.
A lot of brothers don't have confidence.
When they look for confidence in a man.
Yeah, you gotta look a man in his eyes, man. Certain brothers don't look men in their eyes. They're looking at your shoes, right? They're looking at your ankles, right? They're not looking at you. Gotta look a man in his eyes, man, and have authority, right? And have a sense of confidence about yourself. Not wicked confidence in the sense of pride, but in the sense of you're sure of yourself as a man.
Got it.
You got it.
I guess I read 20 and 5.
It's Sirach chapter 20 and verse 5.
Right?
There is one that keepeth silence.
There's one that what?
That keepeth silence.
There's one that keeps silence, read.
And is found wise.
Right, so this is going into that same precept where it says, it's alright, in Proverbs 17 and 27, where it says, he that have knowledge spareth his words. Right, so if you keep silence, you're found wise. Because you're not saying too much. Right, can you read it?
And another, by much babbling, becometh hateful.
Right, if you're just always babbling, that you become hateful in the sight of men. Oh, I just want to hear you talking all the time, huh? Right, sometimes you just gotta, like that's that austere spirit. You don't say too much. You just kind of to yourself, you're just observant. Right, that's that austere spirit, right? Can you read it?
Some man holdeth his tongue because he have not to answer.
Right?
And some keep silence, knowing his time.
Right, so regardless of the reason, you might not actually have anything to add to the conversation, but you seem wise just for just listening. Or sometimes you might just know the right time to speak. Somebody talking, you just kind of cut them off and get in there like, well, I know this, and like, oh, you don't always got to do that, huh? You just kind of let everybody talk, you kind of hear it out, and you kind of, get in there when you can, and keep it limited, right? Keep reading.
A wise man will hold his tongue, till he see opportunity.
Till you see that opportunity to speak. So although you might know something or you might have something to add, you don't want to just cut a man off, man. Right? Well, actually, you don't want to have that spirit, man. Right? You read it?
But a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
You will regard no time whatsoever. Right? And this going into, holding knowledge and holding your tongue. This is also going into that damn debate spirit, man. I don't want this to be debating all the time with Jake, man. Like sometimes it's just wise to hold your tongue and stay away from that contention. Right? Sometimes it's just unprofitable. Most of the times it's unprofitable. Right? So that don't make you a mighty man being able to cut a doctrine. These attributes, being austere, being patient, endurance, taking care of your family, right? Not worried about your own personal happiness, but serving the Lord. As a man, you shouldn't worry about just making yourself happy, man. Now, that's a woman's duty. Now, that her, you make your wife happy with that. You shouldn't focus on that. You focus on being a man of the Lord, taking care of your household. I'm feeling down and out. I don't think I'm going to read today. You got to get up, read, exercise, do your business, handle your job, man. As a man.
Just buy this pizza and call it.
Oh, man, you got to get up and do your thing. Nobody cares if you're mad, brother, or if you're sad.
Right.
Get up, pull your britches up, like gird up your loins, and do what you got to do as a man.
That's right, brother.
Nobody cares, man. Right? Keep it moving and be a man in this thing.
Real quick, nobody cares about what you really going through, man. Straight up and down. Right? Only brothers gonna care. You know what I'm saying? But brothers can't hold your hand. You can't depend on brothers to hold your hand in this truth. Right? You gotta cast your care upon your head. Who is your head? Yahweh Shai. Right? Like when your woman going through it, she's gonna run to you because you're her head. She's gonna run to you to give her counsel, you to give her precepts and knowledge, you to help her out. And but when we going through it, we gotta run to Yahweh Shai.
God, that's another thing. You don't want to tell your wife everything you're going through. Remember, I put that out before with Tobin. He thought his son was dead as well. But when his wife came crying about it, he said, he will be all right. The Lord got him, I'm sure. I said, you don't want to, you kind of lost your job. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how you're going to pay the bills. You don't put that upon your rib, right? That spirit, because they can't handle that. So we just got to handle that, gird up our loins, maybe talk to some brothers, talk to the Lord, get some counsel. We just got to deal with it.
I got a precept. Get Sirach 32 and verse 7.
Book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse number 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee.
Right? Speak, young man, if there be need of thee. Right? So as a man, you got to know when to speak. You can't have that spirit, I'm shy. I don't really think I'm going to say nothing. I'm kind of shy.
You can't be shy.
Yeah, that shy spirit, brother, you got to cut that out, man. Now, you got certain brothers that's a bit more reserved, a bit more observant, laid back. That's fine. But you can't be in the spirit of shyness. What you scared of, brother? Right? So speak, young man, if there be need of thee. Read on.
And yet scarcely when thou art twice
And
asked.
yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Read on.
Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few
Right,
words.
so as a man, you got to keep your speech short, man. You can't just be babbling on and on and on and on, right? Giving all the details, telling all the information, uttering all your mind, right? That's your power, that's your strength, man, the information that you got. If you just telling people everything, then you going to get jammed up, right? Women do that in the world. They telling their so-called girlfriends all the business, what's going on within the house, right? And next thing you know, her and her girlfriend kind of fall out, and now all her business on Front Street, right? So you got to know when to withhold information, right? You got to read the spirit. Oh yeah, as a man, you got to be discerning.
Oh, man.
You got to be spiritually discerning, man. You got to be able to look at a man, right? See the way he talk, see the way he kind of move, and know what spirit that brother in.
Right. I got a quick point on that, being discernment as a man. Brothers got to definitely, make sure they got discernment, especially because, in the ancient world, and brothers should practice this now, but you got to marry off your daughters and your children. So you got to discern what kind of family or brother that is that your daughter go marry, man. So you have to have discernment. You can't just go for the okie doke and be a damn fool, man. Right? You can't have that spirit. And, shy, it's going into being reserved or having or showing nervousness or timidity, right? Basically timid in the company of other people, being fearful.
Sure.
And that's just not a mighty spirit in the midst of people, man.
I would see insecure.
Like you are insecure, got your head down, and I don't really want to. Nah, brother, you gotta come on, man. Right?
One more.
I think I got a preset.
Have that confidence, man, as a man.
This,
Right.
Ghana.
You shy now. You wonder why you can't find a rib,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you shy, brother. Women's supposed to be shy.
Right.
Girls in the world, they go, I'm shy. Like you supposed to be, right?
Scared of woman.
Right, but a man's supposed to guide the conversation and, be a man, man.
Right. This Psalms, like the brother saying, you gotta have discernment in his truth. Look up discernment real quick. Right, that's another attribute of a mighty man of the Lord. Right? Now notice, we're not saying, oh, he gotta know Daniel the 12th chapter. He gotta know Revelation the 22nd chapter in order to be qualified as a mighty man of the Lord. We're not gonna tell you that, man. Now, it is profitable to have knowledge, right? Because knowledge is a masculine trait as well. Right? The more knowledge you have, you feel more secure. Right? The fact that you know something. That's a powerful thing to have knowledge. That's why when women get knowledge, they get puffed up, man. Because knowledge does puff up. Right? The scriptures tell you how riches and strength lift up the heart. Give me that real quick, Tazadok. Sirach 40 and 26. Riches and strength lift up the heart. Right? And on a spiritual level, riches is knowledge. Bring this up.
Sirach 40 and 26. Riches and strength lift up the heart.
What the Bible say?
Riches and strength lift up the heart.
Riches and strength lift up the heart. Read on.
But the fear of Yahweh is above them both.
But the what?
But the fear of Yahweh is above them both.
Right, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. Right, so as a man of the Lord, it is good to have knowledge and wisdom and understanding, right? But it's more deeper than that. Go back to verse 8, King. Sirach 32 and 8.
Come. This is Sirach chapter 32 and verse 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words.
Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in a few words. Now give me Psalm 16 and 7. You got that discernment pulled up, brother?
Yeah.
Read that for me.
You got the mic.
Come.
Good.
The ability to judge well.
The ability to judge well. Now, it's a enlightenment, refinement, cultivation, insight, perception, sharpness, wisdom, sagacity. Right? Sagacity. Yep. It says, in Christian context, perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding. Now give me Psalm chapter 16 and verse 7.
This is Psalm 16 and 7.
David had that, man. He had discernment. Right? Because there's going to be some situations, no one can really tell you about. But the Spirit is going to let you know. Right? You might see a demon on a brother, but nobody else see him. They're like, nah, brother, he cool, man. But you kind of see that spirit on him. Right? Just through his actions, through spiritual discernment. All right, bring this up.
Psalm 16 and 7. I will bless the Lord.
I will do what?
I will bless the Lord.
Right, so you got to bless the Lord as a man. Read on.
Who have given me counsel.
Who have did what?
Who have given me
So the
counsel.
Lord gave you that counsel. Read on.
My reins
My
also.
what?
My reins.
My reins. Right? And that translates to your heart. Now we know the heart is deceitful above all things, but sometimes your heart is faithful to you. Right? The scriptures tell you that in the Apocrypha. Right? I believe that's in Wisdom of Solomon, if I'm not mistaken. Right? But your heart can give you right judgment. Especially if you're a man of the Lord and you know the precepts. Right? You got it.
My reins also instruct me.
My what?
My reins also instruct
My
me.
reins also instruct me. That so-called intuition, spiritual discernment, good judgment, that's going to instruct you on certain things. Right? And you got to have discernment in this world, lest you get caught out there. Right? You have certain animals, they have certain discernment when it comes to avoiding a predator. Right? You got certain animals, they know how to blend in. right? Like a chameleon. They know how to blend in with their environment. You gotta have that same spirit within the truth, man. Right? Kind of know how to blend in, use subtlety, hold back that speech, not uttering all your mind. You gotta do that at work, man.
You do.
You gotta do that at work. You know, you might work with 1,000 Edomites. They all around you, right? You know, offering you to a pizza party, a whole bunch of pork, pepperoni, damn ham on that pizza. You know, I'm allergic, right? You kind of get up out of there, man. You don't want to. I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Yahweh, right? You are Edomite. Y'all going in slavery. That's an abomination, brother. You're not gonna have that job no more.
Finish.
So you gotta learn how to use subtlety. Hey, nah, man, I'm allergic. And I just ate. You know, it is what it is. You kind of get up out of there. What they gonna say to that, man? But that's using subtlety. That's being peaceable with all men at the same time, and also being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. But only discernment will gird you with that wisdom to do that in that situation.
Right.
Right? So you have to have discernment and so-called intuition. Look up that word real quick. Intuitive. A lot of women got this too, man. Intuition, right? Certain men got this. That's why you gotta marry your daughter off, man, because a man is gonna see the spirit on another man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh nah, this guy, he's off. Women don't know how to pick their men, straight up and down. Right? And that's the spirit. It's spiritual how the Lord set it up like that. Your father's supposed to marry you off. Right? And say intuition, the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. Instinct, so-called sixth sense, second sight, right? And this is the opposite. A thing that one knows or considers likely from another.
That's the same thing.
Okay, well I say opposite. Right? A hunch, a feeling in one's bones, gut feeling, suspicion, impression, resentment, right?
Foreboding.
So sometimes you got that gut feeling, you feel it in your veins, man. You just feel like something about to happen. There's been times like that, man.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like something about to happen and the song will come up, and all hell break loose. Right? Hey, Jake could tell you about this type of stuff in the world when you so-called in the streets. I felt like something was about to happen, man. I had to get up out of there. Then the damn shootout happened, man.
Yes.
On the block. So I felt like something was about to happen. I just felt it, man, when I woke up. My heads was standing up, man. I felt that spirit. That's your intuition letting you know, man.
Yeah, that's the spirit for real.
That's the spirit. And the Lord gonna do that a lot, man. If you truly a man of the Lord, you believe in these precepts, you apply these precepts to your lifestyle, the Lord is gonna let you know about certain situations, man. The Lord is gonna keep you away from danger. Right? Couple times that happened to me, man. Oh, we gotta get up out of this grocery store. It don't feel right, man. Let's get up out of here. Let's make moves. Right? And that's the spirit, man.
Right.
You got it, brother.
You get Sirach 32 and 23.
Sirach 32 and 23. In every good work, trust thy own soul.
What is it?
Trust thine own soul.
Right, and of course, with discernment and with wisdom, you understand, this is speaking about having that so-called intuition. Right? Go ahead.
For this is the keeping of the commandments.
Right, like the brothers say, you're not always going to have a five-man council at your disposal. You're not always going to be able to just hear the voice of the Lord. So you got to trust in your own soul on the right-hand side when it comes to doing the work, raising up your family, and making certain judgments. And the man likes a man that is very decisive.
Right.
Women don't like indecisive men. You know, you're very like, what should we eat? I don't know, baby. I don't know, baby.
That affects them, man.
Yeah, they like security. They want to know something for sure. They like that surety. Can you bring out Sirach 22 and 17?
The book of Sirach, chapter 22 and 17. A heart settled upon a thought of understanding.
What is it?
A heart settled upon a thought of understanding.
Right, when you settle your thought upon an understanding, go ahead.
Is as a fair plastering on the wall of a gathering.
Now, if you done any work and you plastered something to the wall, it looks good. It's sturdy. You're satisfied with it. The same way you should be satisfied when you settle your thoughts upon something. It's good to have that solid ground, that sturdy decision. You don't want to waver. Yeah, like the brother said, that's coming from a place of confidence. Can you read that one more time, Bible Sure?
Sirach 22:17. A heart settled upon a thought of understanding is as a fair plastering on the wall of a gathering.
So the next time you're facing a difficult decision, make sure you're confident in your decision. Make sure you're sure. Make sure you have the utmost confidence in what you did. Because nobody's going to know tomorrow or the next 10 minutes but the Heavenly Father. Right? So that's why you have to have that confidence. So you can go to Sirach 20 and 22.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 20, and verse 22. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness.
Can you go to the word bashful? Sirach 20 and 22. I already said it. Sirach 20 and 22.
Con.
We're going to read it first. Oh, yeah, it's like, yeah, bashful, shy, reserved. We already went over all this. Self-conscious, demure. He can go down, you real coy. You timorous, you real meek, unconfident, you wary, you insecure, you nervous. Why you always nervous, brother? You sweating, you embarrassed, you shamefaced, you sheepish. And you faint-hearted. Don't be that man that's just reluctant. That's just so coy. Don't be that guy. Go ahead.
Sirach 20 and 22. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness.
So you can destroy yourself by being too bashful. Like the old saying, the squeaky wheel will never get the oil.
Squeaky wheel always gets the oil.
Oh yeah, it's like, yeah. The squeaky wheel always gets the oil because it's loud. But when you're not squeaky, when you're not talking, when you're so shy and timid, you ain't gonna get no oil. Right? Closed mouths don't get fed. I want to understand it, but I don't think I should ask him. What should I do? You just damn, you just being weak. I shouldn't ask her. Should I ask her? Should I ask her to court me? I don't know. You blushing, getting all shy towards her.
Then the next brother asks.
Yeah, then the next brother asks her money. That's court. You know, okay. And then you lost your chance, brother, because you wanted to be timid like that woman. Why would you think a woman wants a timid man?
I think we should go out.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I think
maybe it'll work out.
Maybe it was possible. Brother, you don't know what's going on.
I think I read the scripture. Hopefully this works. What do you think? Nobody wants to deal with that. What do you think?
I'm led to believe.
Yeah.
You can't always say I'm led to believe, brother. You gotta know. You just gotta know it, brother.
Yeah.
You gotta keep reading.
I'm led to believe that Deuteronomy 28:68 talk about. No, we know it's talking about us, man.
That's right.
I'm led to believe.
It's more than that.
And by accepting of persons overthroweth himself.
You accept it from the persons. And I go into Sirach 33:19. You just let everybody just do whatever they want to. Keep asking this brother. Keep asking me my water bottle and my book bag and my car keys and take care of my dog. Okay, brother. That's being accepting of people because you're so shy and nervous. Can you do my cold cut? Can you do my cold cut for me, brother?
You don't want to
Just do my cold cuts real quick.
You don't want to get
Okay.
conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to do it, dumb. Say no. Sometimes you gotta say no.
And it's important to be like that in the truth, cause, and we nice brothers, we understand that, but it still gotta be a level of respect there. It's okay to tell your brother, no, I can't do that, brother. It is what it is. Right? You gotta put your foot down in this knowledge, man. Just cause we in the truth don't mean we gotta just say yes to all the brothers. No. Brothers get that misconstrued, man. You gotta learn that, hey, look, nah, brother, that's going on. Nah, brother, I can't do that, brother. Right? And you still can be respectful. You can respectfully decline something.
Yeah.
See, Jake don't know how to respectfully decline. Hell no, brother. Hell no. Brother, you don't gotta say all that. Just say like, nah, brother, I don't feel comfortable with that. Leave it at that.
You just say no. The Lord said, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay.
That's
Just
right.
no, brother.
Nah.
Now, the brother don't gotta like it. But you said it. You said no. No, no, brother. That's it.
Lie.
Yeah, I said lie. Lie.
Can't be accepting the persons in this thing, man.
This morning.
Yeah, you got it.
God, there is that for bashfulness promiseth to his friend, and maketh him his enemy for nothing.
Read that again.
There is that for bashfulness promiseth to his friend,
Right, I'll do something for you, brother. I got you. Go ahead.
and maketh his and maketh him his enemy for nothing.
Because more than likely, you're not going to be able to fulfill what you said. Because you just let everybody run your life. And they made like certain TV shows and episodes like that, and I've seen them where the person just say yes. That's a yes man. You know, don't want to be a yes man in this truth. So you can go to Sirach 25 and 3.
It's crazy, man.
Especially being in a household. Like, can I get this? I saw it online, it was cheap. Can I just get this? And she got the puppy dog eyes, and she's saying, well, saved up a little bit of money. So then she did this paycheck, please, baby. And you're like, all right, baby. No, we gotta pay the water bill. No, lie.
Yeah. Some brothers don't know how to tell their wife no. Right? They scared of it, man. They don't want her to get out of order. They don't want her to get mad. Brother, you gotta put your foot down in your crib, man.
That's right.
Right? And again, you can be respectful and do it. You ain't gotta be a nigga, right? And kind of say hell no and say that's a dumbass. Nah, you gotta. Certain brothers do that, man. You can't do that. You gotta say like, we ain't really got it right now. And it is what it is.
And again, people don't gotta like lie, but lie is no. It's just no.
Really.
That's all it is.
Jake, you get in the spirit of explaining yourself too much, man. You say like, can't really do it right now. Well, why not? It's not looking good. And if they keep constantly, trying to get it out of you,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
going
spirit.
off. Yeah, it's going off.
Or you can not say nothing. You can kind of just go do something else, change the subject. You got to learn to be subtle. Use wit.
That's right. Bring us Sirach 25 and 3.
It's Sirach 25 and 3. If thou hast gathered nothing in thy youth, how canst thou find anything in thine age?
So everything we're going over right now, it applies to all the men, young men out there, including us as well. Read that again.
Sirach chapter 25 and verse 3. If thou hast gathered nothing in thy youth,
Right, if you didn't gather nothing in your youth, go ahead.
how canst thou find anything in thine age?
How you gonna learn anything as you get older? That's why we do these lessons through the Spirit.
All right.
Right? You gotta learn it while you're young. Because you don't learn it while you're young, what makes you think you're gonna learn when you're old? Because old people tend to have a tendency to think they know it all. That's why they're not gonna learn anything. That's why you have the old expression of saying you can't teach your old dog new tricks. Because they already said their ways. They feel like they got obtained all the knowledge they have. So now's the time and place to absorb all the precepts, all the knowledge, all the wisdom that you can find.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got a point. My granddad, every time I try to tell him the truth, he said, well, I'm a Baptist. That's all I know.
I first might say I'm stuck in my ways.
I spoke to the priest. I spoke to a priest in Baltimore. He said, yeah, I know I'm an Israelite, my wife knows, but we've just been doing it so long. We're stuck in our ways.
They said, it's all I know.
That's all I know.
And he said, my mama taught me that. I can't, it's my mama.
That's all. But, hey man, I got a precept. Right, what I want. Give me 1 Peter 1:13. Yeah, man. So the gist of it all, the conclusion of the whole matter is these are the attributes of a man. Matter of fact, get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
It's the book
A
of
man is going to keep the commandments first and foremost. If you don't keep the commandments, hey, you're not a man. You're a child at heart, right? Real men, they're going to take care of their homes, right? They're going to provide for their household, right? Because if you got somebody taking care of you, another person taking care of you, you're not a man. You're a child adult, man. You're an adult child. You're childish. to be like a child. You know?
It's the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right?
Fear God.
Do what?
Fear
You
God.
gotta fear the Most High. Right? What's the fear of the Lord? To keep the commandments. Right? Read on.
And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
That's the whole duty of what?
Of man.
That's the whole duty of men. You understand? So you gotta fear the Most High, and you gotta keep his commandments. Give me Deuteronomy. You already pulled 1 Kings 2 and 1?
Another first.
Nah, pull it again.
It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Right?
Now the days of David drew nigh.
Right, the days of David drew nigh. And David was a real man. David is the epitome of, what's that word?
Epitome.
The epitome of what a man is.
God.
Right? If you want to know what a man is, David. Right? Austere, a warrior. And not just David, Judas Maccabeus. That was a real man right there. Right? The brothers in 2nd Maccabees, the 7th chapter, those were real men. Right? Because they didn't regard their life all for the of serving the Most High and dignity. Right? You got it, brother.
God. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die.
That he should what?
That he should die.
That he should die. Read on.
And he charged Solomon his son.
Charged his son. He didn't say, well, son, you know, you can do this if you want to. I'm led to believe, well, this works, but not really sure. David was fully sure of himself as an old man. Read on.
Saying, I go the way of all the earth.
What does it mean, I go the way of all the earth? Meaning I'm about to die. I'm about to go back to the ground.
Yeah.
Read on.
Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a
Be
man,
thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a man. Read on.
and keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
Do what?
And keep the charge of the Lord thy
You
God,
got to keep the charge. You have to be in charge. Read on.
to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments.
Give me Exodus chapter 18, verse 21. Right, so a real man is a man that's going to keep the commandments. Right? Not committing adultery. Damn sure not being a sodomite. Right? Not giving in to whores and lusts. Right? A real man, you really supposed to hate that spirit. Right? Bring this up.
It's Exodus 18 and 21. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear
It
God.
said able men such as fear the Lord.
Right.
Able. Right? Keyword, able men. Some men not able, man. Right? Some men are spiritually, kind of handicapped, man. Spiritually jammed up. Right? They may be slow of learning. Right? Slow of heart. These are real things out here, man. You had lame men in the scriptures. Right? So you have to be an able man. Read on.
God. Hating, Salakia, such as fear God, men of truth.
Men of what?
Men of
And
truth.
that's another attribute of a real man. You got to be truthful, right? You got to be who you are behind closed doors, like the person you are in front of people, man. You have to be sincere. You have to have integrity, right? Because really, you just cheating yourself if you putting on the front.
You losing.
You lose. I mean, you cheating yourself, man. Right? It's better to just be genuine and to be sincere. You're gonna feel good about yourself knowing that you can sleep at night. Look, I practice what I preach.
It's a good feeling.
That's a great feeling, man. I practice what I preach. If you don't practice what you preach, your conscience is gonna condemn you all the time. Right? You out there shaking the hand, cutting yourself, man. It ain't gonna be right, man. You kind of shaking the hand while you cutting yourself. I do that. So then try to keep going. This spirit ain't gonna come out the way it's supposed to be. So, you got it.
Hating covetousness.
Hating what?
Hating covetousness.
Hating covetousness. Right? And a real man isn't a man that can sleep with 1,000 women a week. It's not a real man.
Right.
That's a man that don't have no self-control. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. We gotta touch on this too. Yeah, I'm an alpha. Yeah, I'm an alpha male. You know, deal with all the women. I got all the women on my line. Hold on, brother. These women taking your spirit, man. So are you really an alpha male? Right? These women taking your spirit, they taking your substance, you giving them all your time. You giving your strength to a woman. Because a real man don't got time to just be dealing with all these damn women. Especially if you might got a household, you might got a family, you got the ministry. The ministry itself is a lot of work, man. There's always something you can be doing within the truth. You might got a business. You don't got time to just sit there and talk on the phone with 20 Eves every day. Right?
2 Timothy 2:22. Flee also youthful lust.
Flee also youthful lust. That was lust you had when you was a young man. You know, you the middle school days, you know, going into high school, right? You couldn't control yourself, man. We ain't gotta get too much in detail, but brothers know. Hey man, you was out the roof with it, man. Right?
Yeah.
You went nuts with it, man. No pun intended, man. Bring us up.
But follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart.
When you become a man, it start getting serious, man. When you get a wife, you start having children, and then life smack you, boom, punch you rather. You're like, hold on, this is real, man. I can't be slipping, man. I can't be slothful, right? I think about that all the time, man. Every time I was slothful, wasn't really in the spirit, all hell broke loose, man. Literally, right? But when you in the spirit, man, everything stays in order. But the minute you cheat yourself, going off, freaking off, that's when your life start getting rough, man. That's when the Most High start jacking you up. And the Most High ain't gotta jack you up that specific day you go off. But guess what? He gonna get you 2-3 months from now, right? He gonna get you, man. That's in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. So, as a man, brother, before you go off, just think about that, man. Just think about how the Most High want to get up with you eventually. Right? It never fails. And if brothers really spiritual and brothers really in this thing, they know what I'm talking about. Keep going. Keep going to that, brother. So, men of truth, hating covetousness. Covetousness is lust. Give me Romans chapter 7, verse 7. Romans 7:7.
It's the book of Romans chapter 7 and verse 7.
Right?
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid.
So the law is not sin, preferable knowledge. Right? Bring this out.
Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law.
I had not known sin, but by the law. Read on.
For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not covet.
Thou shalt not covet.
Right.
Meaning thou shalt not lust. That's what the Bible is talking about, man. So give me Sirach 25 and 21.
That's why I say you can't covet after your neighbor's house, his wife, his ass, his anything. You kind of looking like, damn, that's a nice ox, man. I wish I had an ox like that. I got one, but you always got the spot right there. And now you expect this because coveting leads to sin. Like it's gonna lead to just killing that brother for his wife, killing that brother for whatever. Envy, it leads to different sins when you covet after somebody else's stuff, man. Like, you gotta covet to prophesy.
That's right.
Right? You gotta covet, to take care of your family, man.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you gotta lust and
Real
desire
men.
for.
Real men. Right? And if for brothers who may not have a wife, may not have a child, brother, that's just your years to really tune in on yourself, man, and work on your spirit. Brothers need to be on super dummy fire if you don't got no household like that, man. Right? You could read all day. You ain't got to worry about kids running up on you. Hey, pulling your leg. Right? You ain't got to worry about your wife. She might be going through it. She's taking it out on you. You ain't got to worry about that, brother. So you got to focus on yourself, man, and build up your spirit. Now, for brothers who got households, hey, brother, you got a lot of responsibility. Hey, brother, if you ain't in the spirit, you got blood on your hands, brother.
Right.
You can get your wife killed and your children overthrown. That's scary right there, man. So you gotta really be locked in. There's like literally no time to play around no more. You're not a kid, you're not 18 no more, brother. You're not 19. You hit 20, man, hey, it's over with. You gotta lock in. Even that was the time when we went to war, that was the age, 20 and up. When you a teenager, you know, you get a slap on the wrist a lot. You get a slap on the wrist.
Even with the law, you know,
Yeah.
send you to a boys' home, or, you know, but soon you get to a certain age, they lock you up in prison.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it depends on what crime you do. You might be 18 and go to prison, man. If you did, if it was the gravity of the crime,
Yeah, they can see you an adult at 18.
yeah,
Battle.
finish.
Sometimes 17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes 16.
Yeah, depending on the crime.
I know a brother in the world, man. He was like 16 years old, and he got locked up for life.
They do that to Jake though. I
Yeah.
just saw.
They be trying to
Kind of stole a car.
14-year-olds as adults.
Yeah, kind of killed somebody, stole a car, right? Allegedly. And then got jammed up, man. And they locked them up and they threw away the key. So, you know, much more you're grown, man. Much more you're an adult. You got a household, you got family. Man, I be seeing so much stuff on the news, man. Brothers be killing their wives and children. All because of spirits and demons. Most likely problems they got out of hand. You know, so as a man of the Lord, you gotta be conscious of that, man. Because you don't want those spirits to hop on you. Now you shedding blood within the midst of your household. And now it's like, damn, what happened to that brother, man? Damn. And you just become a shaking of the head among the people. A hissing. Like, damn. Sad, man. That brother. Look what he did to his wife. I just read an article about that. A brother kind of killed his quote-unquote girlfriend, which is really his wife. And then killed a 2-year-old girl, man. Killed the daughter. This happened in Detroit.
Yeah, that's a big story right now.
I believe it's in Lansing, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I went to school with a girl. Her dad basically tied her mama up. They was all in the basement, and the kids down there, and he killed all the kids and made the mama watch.
See, that's sick, man. Sick world we living in. So you don't want these spirits. I mean, if the spirits get to that point, then it's a problem. If you let it get to that, give me 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 77. You have to stop these spirits in their tracks, man. Don't entertain your demons either. Brother, technically it's not a sin, brother. Well, all right, you keep entertaining that demon, and that spirit gonna hop on you and latch on you, and you ain't gonna be able to get that leech off.
That technically
Demons
is
are
not
like
a sin
parasites,
spirit.
man.
So,
Demons are like spiritual parasites. Once they in you, it's kind of hard to get them out. Unless you do a detox, a spiritual detox, right? And that comes out with fasting, praying, counsel, really healing. But once you let them demons, your bodies become so infested with parasites, it's only so much the doctor can do for you. You dying. Hey, doctors will tell you, man, you only got 6 months to live. You know, you let this. They ain't gonna tell you let it get out of hand, but pretty much that's what you did. You didn't take care of that sicknesses while you saw it, man. Right? So when you see that demon creeping up on you, rebuke that spirit, go on a fast, pray, reach out to a brother, a trusted brother, and ultimately take it to the Lord, man. You got it.
God, this is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 77.
Right?
Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins.
You can be bound with your sins, man. Imagine that you just bound with your sins like a heavy fetter of iron that you're trying to break through from, but you can't do it because it's so strong and heavy on you. Read on it.
And covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may have that no man may travel through.
Just imagine that. You trying to get through a field, it got a whole bunch of thorns, weeds everywhere, just all type of poison ivy, and just all type of thorns and grass high up to here. How you gonna travel through, brother? you're gonna get jammed up. That spider might hop on you, bite you, and a snake might come out and bite your ankle. You know, all hell might break loose, man. See that? So you can't pass through a man that's already covered with those spirits. Right? Get what it say? He that openeth and no man shutteth. Give me that, Joey. Right? So these are all the attributes of being a man. Give me that. He that openeth and no man shutteth.
Is that John 12?
Yeah, maybe Job 12:14. Try that. Lord, what is that?
Con. Look at Job chapter 12 and verse 14. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again.
He do what?
He breaketh down, and it cannot be built
Once
again.
the Lord break you down, you ain't gonna get built up again. Read on. Don't let this life in this world break you down either. There's so much demons and spirits out here you just don't know, brother. It's wickedness that we don't know about. And it's a good thing we don't know about it. The Lord will keep you protected from certain things like that. That's why you gotta watch who you hang around. They might put some knowledge in your ear that you didn't need to hear. Some wicked knowledge. Now you struggling with a demon. Because that spirit was on them and they hopped on you. Right? Keep reading.
He shutteth up a man.
He do what?
He shutteth up a man,
He shutteth up a man. Read on.
and there can be no opening.
There can be no opening. So once the Lord shuts you up, it ain't gonna be no opening. Give me he shall die without correction. I believe it's in Proverbs 5:23.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and 23. He shall die without instruction.
Start at verse 22.
Verse 22. His own iniquities shall take the wicked himself.
Your own iniquity is gonna take you. Right? Because you really setting yourself up for failure when you commit sin. Yes, it may be pleasurable for a time, but in the long haul, it's going to destroy you. Just like anything, just like with drugs, you shoot that damn needle, right? And it might feel good for a time. It might cause euphoria throughout your body. But guess what? It's jamming your body up. Next thing you know, you hook. And you going through withdrawals. I knew brothers like that, man. Got hooked on them damn pills. Right? Because it was a time where them pills was a wave. Like a whole bunch of Jake was doing it, man. That 2015, 2016 future pushing out that wickedness. And Jake was doing them drugs. So yeah, I'm a rock star. And that 2018, 2019 hit. And that fentanyl started coming out. And you think you getting a pill, you getting damn fentanyl, man. And Jake got jammed up. I know brothers that actually overdosed from that. And these was brothers you would never think would go into that. Right? But you don't know what the Lord has in store for you. You're not keeping the commandments. Keep reading.
God. And he shall be holden with the cords of his sins.
He shall be what?
Holden with the cords of his sins.
Yeah, he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. Now you're addicted to lust. Right now you're addicted to adultery or addicted to folly. Now your sins is holding you back like a cord. Right? Read on.
He shall die without instruction.
He shall what?
He shall die without instruction.
He shall die without instruction. That's the worst thing to die without instruction, without knowledge, without wit. Right? Because you can't get that knowledge when you're in the grave. When your body and the worms are eating at your flesh. Right? You're seeing that corruption 6 feet under the earth. How you gonna repent to the Lord when you're in the spiritual realm? Read on.
And in the greatness of his folly, he shall go astray.
Don't be led astray in this thing, man. Do not be led astray. Look up that word led astray, brother. Or that statement, right? Led astray. Well, it's deep.
Led someone in the wrong direction or give someone wrong directions. Misdirect, misguide.
We was misguided, right? In this world. We was led astray. Right? But when you read John 10, and the Lord brought us back as that good shepherd. Because the sheep, we like sheep that went astray, correctly? Right? And the Lord led us back to the fold.
lost out there. It's lost sheep, man.
It brought us back to the farm. If you
You
had
had to
this to
grab
hear.
us with the
Yeah.
shepherds thing. Grab us with the hook. Back this way.
Come on, where you going? You about to fall off that cliff. And we was all about to fall off the cliff. And the Lord took us out the world, man. That's deep.
That's right.
What you got it, brother?
Bring out Jeremiah 2:23.
Cant.
Verse 22.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 22. For though thou wash thee with nitre, and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me,
Right, and that's plain. Go ahead.
saith the Lord God. How canst thou say, I am not polluted? I have not gone after Baal. See thy way in the valley. Know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary,
Right, that's a camel. Go ahead.
traversing her ways. A wild ass used to the wilderness, that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure, in her occasion, who can turn her away.
Right, that's exactly what Israel is. Right, they're that wild camel, swift to traversing in her ways. They're that wild ass that snuffed up at the wind. Go ahead.
All they that seek her will not weary themselves. In her month they shall find her.
Right, but nevertheless, Israel, they love to go to and fro. That's their lifestyle. That's what it says even in the book of Acts. They stood their time in that city doing nothing but to hear new stuff. That's the spirit of Jake. To be a man, you gotta be sturdy. You gotta be strongly rooted.
Somebody trying to press that.
You gotta be strongly rooted. You have to have balance, stability. Right? That sure utmost confidence. And then you can bring out so right, it's like in Jeremiah 19 and 19. It's like in 2 and 19. Jeremiah 2 and 19.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 19.
Now, if you don't want to gird up your loins, if you don't want to know what's the true definition of being a mighty man, I mean, you can watch Wiz Khalifa. You can go watch an Instagram live for all we care. Right? If you don't care, then why should we care? We can't force anybody to drink this water. We can't force anybody to eat this bread. Right? But it's out here for you to know. It's up to you whether you want to eat it or not. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 2 and 19. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee,
Right. If you don't care, your own wickedness is going to correct you. Go ahead.
and thy backslidings shall reprove thee.
Sometimes the only way for you to learn is to kind of get jammed up.
Hebrews 5 and 8.
That's it. Go ahead.
Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter, that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy God, and that my fear is not in thee, saith the Lord God of hosts.
That's right. So you got to ask yourself today, are you going to be a mighty man on the right-hand side or the left? To be a mighty man on the left-hand side, that's to be a yes man, that's to be shy, that's to be super duper bashful, to let your woman run over you, just being feeble, having a weak conscience. If you want to be a mighty man on the left-hand side, you can do that. Emotional. But to be on the right-hand side and be a mighty man, hey, crack open up this book. Right? Rewatch this video, take some notes, examine yourself, look in the mirror. Because that's what a man will do as well. He'll look at 27 and 19.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and 19. As in water face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man.
When was the last time you took a long, hard look at your heart? Not physically, you just open up your heart. You're going to die, not that way, but spiritually. Just looked in it. Wow, I can't believe I did that this week. You hold a heart in your hand, weighing everything in a balance. Wow, I did that. Wow, I can't believe I did that. I did do this. That's how you got to look at yourself by the end of the week or in the beginning of the week. You got to figure out what type of man you want to become in this truth. Or are you going to be diligent? Are you going to be
Give me Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Read Proverbs, man. You got certain brothers in this truth that never read the book of Proverbs, right?
I'm
Hey,
reading Revelation.
You might got a new brother. He's probably a week in this thing. Of course, I don't expect a brother to read down Proverbs in a week. You know what I'm saying? So, bear with me. But you got, brother, you've been in this truth for 2 years, 3 years, and you never cracked open the book of Proverbs. Oh man, your spirit jacked up. Your spirit might, brother, I don't know what to tell you. Bring this out. It's kind of wild.
It's Proverbs 4:23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Keep your heart with all diligence. Right? So like the brother Yardan was breaking down, you gotta look deeply into your heart. Some people scared of their heart, man. Some people scared of their demons, man. Some people, they don't like being alone because they demons. They thought won't play on their mind. And that's why Esau, when they locked Jake up and Jake do something in the prison, they put him in the hole. Right? And they say that hole, that solitary confinement can really break you down, break your spirit down. Because you don't got nobody there with you. It's just you and your thoughts and your wicked heart. Are you gonna endure? Are you gonna hold up yourself? And them weeks start passing by, you like, man, start bugging out. I done heard some stories, man. Some people eat their own feces in solitary confinement. They start talking to themselves. They start seeing stuff and hallucinating, right? Because we're mankind. We were made to have human interactions and be social people, right? So the so-called white man, he understands the psychology behind that. That's how he breaks Jake down, right? So the point I'm making is some people scared to be alone. You can't be scared to be alone, brother. Sometimes you're going to be alone, brother. You got to battle your demons. So keep thy heart with all diligence, right? Keep your mind, keep your thoughts. Be sharp, be witty, exercise, brother. Eat right. You understand? Exercise, eat right, read. If you're not reading, brother, your mind is going to waste away. Watching TV all day, kicking up your feet. Netflix. You come home, you just turn straight on Netflix. You ain't cracked open the scripture yet. You just watching Netflix. And then next thing you know, all hell break loose later on that day. Because you wasn't in the spirit, man. Right? So keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Right? You was reading this for me, Ken. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah. You gonna continue verse 24?
Yeah.
Verse 24. Put away from thee a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee.
That's self-explanatory. Read on.
Let thine eyes look right on,
Here's the point. Let thine eyes look right on. Read on.
and let thine eyelids look straight before thee.
There's too much distractions out here, too much confusion. That's how people get jammed up. They don't stay in their lane. You gotta stay in your lane, man. You gotta focus and hold in on your purpose, right? The minute you start swaying off in your purpose and trying to hop in a lane that's not yours, you won't crash out. You know, you don't turn on your blinker. You just kind of go over there. Boom, you get rear-ended, right? And your car down flip over. Next thing you know, you gave up the ghost, right? So read that again. And it's all spiritual, man. Bring this up.
Proverbs 4:25. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet.
As a man, you gotta ponder the path of your feet. Certain brothers don't ponder the path of their feet. They just out here winging it. I just live day by day, brother. Whatever happens, happens. You can't have that spirit, man. You gotta have set goals. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what you're reaching forward to. Like you said, you gotta have plans, right? And you can't say, well, that's it. I mean, you reach your goals and that's kind of it. No, man, there's always things you can be doing. If you got children, that's a never-ending responsibility. It's over with. It's a never-ending responsibility. You always got a job if you got children, right? You always got somebody to counsel.
Even when they older, you still gonna be they.
Definitely. Definitely. Even when they older, even when they in their 40s, man.
Yeah.
That's still your child. You understand? So you gotta ponder the path of thy feet.
I appreciate it too.
Con, look up that word ponder real quick, brother. Ponder the path of thy feet.
Right. Ponder. Think about something carefully, especially before making a decision or reaching a conclusion.
That's right.
Consider, review, study, contemplate, weigh up.
So when you in life, you gotta think about stuff before you do it, man. Now you might say, well, I don't really know. What should I do? Counsel. That's why you have counsel. That's why you have prayer. That's why you have fasting. That's why the Lord blesses you with discernment. So you can be able to make the best decision for you and your household. And nonetheless, you have to ponder the feet. Read on.
And let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left.
Brothers be kind of turning to the right hand and to the left hand. Read on.
Remove thy foot from evil.
Do what?
Remove thy foot from evil.
Remove thy foot from evil. So you can't turn to the right or to the left, man. You can't get distracted with wickedness. You gotta stay on that straight and narrow path. Let me get one more precept. 2nd Ezra 7:7. It's a classic.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 7.
This all ties into being a mighty man. Notice we didn't say he gotta know 2nd Ezra, the 11th chapter.
Memorize 100 precepts.
He gotta memorize 50,000 precepts.
Doing 1,000 push-ups.
144,000 precepts he gotta remember. No. Now, it is profitable to know the scriptures. You damn sure gotta know the scriptures, man.
God.
We not telling brothers, hey, look, don't deal with the Bible, just deal with. No, deal with the scriptures, brother.
Right.
You gotta study. That's part of being a man.
And study, show yourself to prove so you can rightly divide the word.
Yeah.
But our point is, it's not knowing 1,000 precepts gonna make you mighty.
Yeah. Because you can know 1,000 precepts, but don't apply one of them. You know, so bring this up.
Application.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow.
The kingdom of heaven entrance is narrow, right?
And is set in a dangerous place to fall.
And America is a dangerous place to fall. I mean, you got drugs, you got harlots, you got wickedness going on, worldly music. What else you got on? Violence out here. You got the love of money out here.
Esau.
You got Esau.
Yeah.
You got so much avenues of wickedness that you can go into, and it'll make you a lot of money right now. But it's gonna go against your morals and your integrity. Right? Read on.
God, like as if there were a fire on the right
So you
hand.
got the fire on the right hand. This is America, that fire on the right hand side. Read on.
And on the left, a deep water.
A what?
A deep water.
That deep water, man. Right? I'm gonna get this quick precept real quick. Behold that. This is Psalms chapter 69. Right? It's a prayer that brothers can throw up. Psalm 69 and 13. It say, but as for me, my prayer is unto thee, O Lord, in an acceptable time. O God, in the multitude of thy mercy, hear me, in the truth of thy salvation. Deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from them that hate me, and out of the deep waters. Let not the water flood overflow me, neither let the deep swallow me up, and let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. You can't let that deep swallow you up, man. It's a lot of deep waters out here. Don't jump in it, brother. Don't dive in that deep water where the sharks dwell. Might get ate up, brother. Stay in your lane. Right? Hey, down the hood is the deep waters. You know, false doctrine is deep waters. Harlots, that's deep waters. The love of money is deep waters. You got it, brother.
God. 2nd Ezra 7 and 8. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water. So small.
So what?
So small.
The entrance is so small to the kingdom. Read on.
That there could but one man go there at once.
Meaning a lot of people not gonna make it. So you're gonna have a lot of people going left, a lot of people going straight, but you gotta stay on that straight and narrow path. stay knit tight with your brothers, man. Stop going ghost, man. Right? A lot of brothers, they go ghost, they go MIA, you trying to figure out where they at. Brother, them spirits gonna hop on you, brother. Right? Cleave on to like-minded people. When you say you gotta call a brother every day and be on the phone with him 15 hours, but just at least stay close to one brother, one or two brothers, man. But if you just totally neglecting the whole body, doing your own thing, those spirits gonna hop on you, King. Right? That's why the Lord gave us a brotherhood. Appreciate it.
Everybody ain't got that, man.
Everybody ain't got that, man. You got people out here by themselves, homeless. Don't got no place to go.
They be brothers on the Monday Night Fire. They ask questions just so they can't get off the call. Because they don't got nobody else to talk to.
See that?
They just ask random questions. How many pages in the Bible? They just want to talk. Because they don't got no brothers to talk to. And you got a lot of brothers that's lonely out here. You know, they don't got a brotherhood.
Yeah.
A brother literally asked me something like that. How many pages in the Bible? Brother, I don't know.
I think that depends on the Bible.
Right.
Y'all got different pages.
Right. Keep reading on that. So it's real, man. Appreciate what the Lord gave us, man. Because again, you got people out here that's homeless in the dirt, don't got undergarments. They gotta wash up in a restaurant. Right? They haven't ate in 7 days. They down, flesh cleaving to their bones. They pining away. You sitting up in the crib eating all day, not taking everything for granted. Bring this up.
Verse 9.
Brother, you gotta realize how blessed you are, man.
Right.
We really super blessed. Brothers in this room, we really super blessed. Everybody got a roof over their head.
Yeah, seems like there's.
Brothers got wives. Brothers got clothing. Brothers got nice shoes on, man. Right? You know? Brothers got good juice. You know? Brothers got phones. Brothers in good health. Ain't nobody in the room that's lame. Brothers got some coins. Brothers just had children. Brothers got this knowledge.
Oh!
We got a school. Hey, so we gotta be grateful, man.
God.
All praises to the Most High, man. Gotta clap it up for the Lord.
Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
So we gotta pass this danger. Through the precepts, we gotta pass this danger. Right? What the scripture say, the word is a lamp to my feet. So you in a dangerous place, you got fire, you got water, you got all manner of wild beasts, unknown beasts. It's all type of sick people in this world, sick demons and spirits, man. That's why we got the lamp to guide us through this world. Right? See a big ass bear over there, you gotta go this way. You see a snake over there, you gotta kind of turn and kind of creep, kind of go that way. Right? You gotta avoid these people. Like the Bible say, avoid it, pass not by it. That's in Proverbs. Give me Proverbs 4:14. Notice we've been in Proverbs. Proverbs is instruction on how to live. It's wisdom to be able to guide you through the world. Proverbs 4:14.
Proverbs 4:14.
Right?
Enter not into the path of the wicked,
Don't enter into the path of the wicked. Read on.
and go not in the way of evil men.
What the Lord say?
And go not in the way of evil men.
And man is personified as a what in the scriptures? A beast. Right? So when you see a beast, you kind of see a big ass dog. You're gonna be reluctant to go up to walk up on the dog. You know, when I kind of be, delivering orders, see a big ass dog in the yard, you're like, you just reluctant. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah. So when you see wicked people of the earth, be reluctant to go up toward them, man. Don't deal with them. Don't conversate with them if you don't have to. Just don't deal with them. Deal with your brothers. Deal with the lion-hearted men. Deal with the sheep.
Learn how to cut them
Dealing
off.
with serpents, man.
You get bit, hey.
You get bit. Who would pity a charmer? Or such that come not wild beasts.
Right.
This Proverbs chapter 1 in verse I mean, really the whole Proverbs. Proverbs 1:10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain is the net spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privately for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Right? So you got to go into these different proverbs, man. Proverbs teaches you what people to avoid. Also in the book of Sirach. Also reading the accounts in the scriptures, what our forefathers went through, how they handled these different situations.
Now, that's being a mighty man. Sirach, Proverbs, and the testimonies. It's facts, man. I've been holding on to just one precept I wanted to land me back. I got a few precepts, but I had one I wanted to land me back on what the brother brought out, and they're going into pretty much planning, right? Having a plan out there for yourself. So get Proverbs 21:5.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21:5.
Right?
The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plentiness,
Right?
but of every one that is hasty, only to want.
Right. So when you look into different translations, right, like the NLV, it says good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. Right. So you want to, have good planning and a good work ethic to reach your goals in this thing, man. Right. So you got to plan out your schedule. Right. Plan when to read, plan when to do X, Y, Z, and work hard at it and make it a daily process. All right. Now, another thing about being a mighty man that we can't neglect is having your own, man, not living off of others. So get Sirach 29:22.
Bring that up.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 22. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
Yes. So what if you can cut up a Christian, brother? So what if you can cut up a Muslim? And my first 2 weeks of listening to cold cuts, I could cut a Christian. That's not impressive. No one cares. Right? You staying with your mama, you 35. Right? That's not a mighty man. I know 1,000 precepts, but I've been jobless for 9 months. And my wife, she lived in my basement with me. And that's not mighty, man. My wife, she kind of stayed with her mother, and I stay here, and we got to that's not mighty. Right? That's awful. That's an awful spirit. Right? Why aren't you and your wife living together, brother? What are you doing? Why are you still living with your uncle, brother? Right? Talking about I need a second rib. You talking about getting 3 ribs, and brother, you live with your damn brother.
Well, you don't got a house.
He don't got a house, but
We seen brothers do this, man. You
Yup.
so-called got 2 ribs, you don't even got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
you don't have an abode. That's wickedness, man. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 23. Be it little or much, hold thee contented, that thou hear not the reproach of thy house.
Right? Keep reading.
For it is a miserable life.
It is a what?
A miserable life.
It's a miserable life. Read.
To go from house to house.
Right?
For where thou art a stranger,
Right?
thou darest not open thy mouth.
You see that? If you're a stranger, you sojourn, you can't go in somebody else's house and talk about you should do it this way. Like, Mom, I really don't like them curtains. That's her house, man. Or you can't go in another man's house and say, hey, Abad, I think you should really move this here, and then you should put your couch over here. And you should, brother, what are you talking about? You can't open your mouth in another man's house, man. That's awful. You're not a mighty man because you know 1,000 precepts and you can cut every doctrine in debate, brother. A mighty man is having your own. Right? That's being mighty. It Sirach 21:8. Like you said, we've been in Sirach and Proverbs a lot.
because this is where it all stems from, right? Sirach 21:8,
This is Sirach 21:8.
right?
He that buildeth his house with other men's money
Right?
is like one that gathereth himself, so like he gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial.
You see that? So if you build in a house with somebody else's money, you might as well be digging your own grave, man. That's how the Lord feels about it. Right? That life is miserable, it's good for nothing. Get your own. Like I said, a mean cottage, than to be living in your grandma's big house. You living with your rich uncle, right? And you don't want to kind of leave, say, well, I'm trying to save up money. And get out the house, man. You're 25, brother. Leave the house. Right? Bring it up. I got one more. I'll just bring this one out real quick, because this is my last one. Get Proverbs 13:22. Going into having your own and good planning and hard work.
It's the book of Proverbs 13:22.
Right?
A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
Hold on. Didn't Abraham give an inheritance to Isaac? Didn't Isaac give an inheritance to Jacob? Didn't Jacob give an inheritance to all his children? We got to get that spirit in this thing, man. Right? You don't want to kick the kid out at 18, they got nothing. Because you was too lazy to plan and build something while they was young. Build something. Anything. Get a business. Own a house. Whatever. Give your kids some kind of inheritance for when they are older. That's what a good man would do. Thus said the Bible.
That's a good point, huh?
No, so I can keep reading on that.
And the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
You see that? So a good man, he gonna leave an inheritance for his children's children. So brother, go build something, brother. Invest in real estate. Do something, man. Just stop just living check and not, put some things in order so you can leave an inheritance. You can't leave an inheritance and build it off somebody else. I can't build my house off other men's money. What inheritance I'm leaving for my children? Right, this thing is about, raising up our families and building something, man, while we here. The Israelites wasn't just poor in the lands they went to as slaves, man. Right, they built houses, they had their families. Right, we always did that, so we gotta come back to that spirit.
There's something in Ecclesiastes, let me bring this out. Pretty much how you gotta sow thy seed. Get Ecclesiastes 11:6.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 6.
Right.
In the morning.
In the what?
In the morning.
In the morning. Right? Well, you gotta wake up, brother. You gotta wake up early. Kind of do your. I remember I called a brother. It was like, had to be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He was still asleep. I said, brother, get up, man. Right? And it kind of vexed my spirit. Right? So in the morning, read on.
Sow thy seed.
Right?
And in the evening, withhold not thine hand.
Right, so you gotta sow your seed in the morning, man. And you gotta kind of get out here, make moves. Right? You working. You might got your side hustle going on. You got your business going on. Right? You gotta make those moves as a man of the Lord. And we all talented at something. Brothers know how to make beats. Right? Brothers know how to draw. Brothers know how to sing. Brothers know how to do a lot of different things, man. So you got to utilize those talents, because ultimately that's a gift from the Most High God. If the Lord gave you a talent, he pretty much gave you an avenue to always make money. You just got to use it, right? And gain the knowledge on how to use it and how to, implicate it, man. Apply it, rather. But, keep reading.
For thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that.
And something going to prosper, man. Especially if you're a righteous man. You kind of sow your seed. You make this business move, right? Got this clothing business going on. Got this lotion soap business going on, right? Got this commercial cleaning business going on. Something going to work, right? Whether this or that, right? Read on.
Or whether they both shall be alike good.
Well, they all might work, man. They really having it, man. Right? And guess what? You can leave that to your children. If you keep building on that business, eventually your son get a little older, you start teaching him about the business. The so-called white man do it all the time, right? It's just the fact that our nation, we've been cut off from that. When they split up the families, when they locked our fathers up, when they put drugs in our community. We supposed to know how to do all this stuff, man. When it comes to infrastructure, we supposed to know how to build, how to fix things. But now Jake kind of jammed up.
We used to do that.
We,
Like Wall Street.
we was great at that, man. Right? But now you gotta work twice as harder. Right? Don't just sit up there and complain about it. Oh man, you know, it's captivity, huh? Just work this, it's nothing wrong with working a job. Let's put it out there like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But you gotta make moves, brother. Especially if that job you got is not really sufficient for your household, you're struggling. You might gotta get a business, brother. Might gotta get 2 jobs. That's a man right there, man. A real man, he gonna work those 2 jobs and take it on the chin. Right? Because really the Lord physically made you capable of doing so. Woman can't work down 2-3 jobs without being stressed. Brother might work 2 jobs and he might kind of like it. Yeah, man, I'm making this money for my family. I'm doing the thing. All praises to the Most High. I'm making moves. I'm active. I'm walking. So you gotta have that type of spirit.
Yeah, man, should like that feeling of work. I shouldn't want to just sit up, man. That's a man.
Get Sirach 7:15. We're gonna close it out. Sirach chapter 7, verse 15.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 15.
Right?
Hate not laborer's work.
What the Lord say?
Hate not laborer's work.
Hate not laborer's work. So
A brother might got a maintenance job. He might got a groundskeeper position.
you might be a damn janitor, right? You can't hate laborer's work, brother. That's a good job you got, brother. Right? You kind of active. You know what I'm saying? You might be walking around the plant, you cleaning, you sweeping up. Now, somebody might look down on you. Oh, he got this damn janitor job. Hey, but guess what, brother? You got a job, brother. Right? All praises to the Most High. You got to be grateful for that. Right?
Neither husbandry.
Neither what?
Neither husbandry.
Right? Farming, gardening,
Take a
right?
lot of work.
Landscaping.
That's a lot of work.
I like that type of stuff, man. I love getting out, man.
Jake love that type of stuff.
Right? I was just damn putting up some weeds at work, man. I liked it, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You kind of out there, you sweating. You feel good about yourself. I'm doing this for my family, man. You start feeling strong, man. You like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm about to start going.
Yeah. That's a real job right there, man. Real men.
Right.
Women ain't gonna get out there and do all that, man.
Whoa.
She ain't gonna,
Weeds up. She be in the garden. She like, babe, come dig the hole for me.
And Jason was out in the
it's a
city.
bug on me.
Right? They can cute food.
He delicate.
It was the spiders. Even spiders all down, right? You gotta kill them. You gotta get them out the way, man. You gotta do the thing, man.
You got older Eve who will plant a garden, but as soon as you need a hole dig, she be like, hey, baby, come dig this hole for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true, because that's that labor right there.
Get in there. Like doing that kind of
Yeah.
Oh.
She'll fill it back in, but she won't dig it.
Yup. Hate not labor is work. And through the spirit, when you was a child, you used to love going outside. You in the dirt, you know what I'm saying? You playing around, right? It was always in your spirit to be that way as a boy to a man. Men have it in their spirit to do stuff like that. Trying to fix something. The toy used to break, you just trying to fix it. You trying to fix your damn toy. Right? You trying to put the head back on the body.
Papa, I can't fix my toy. I just broke my toy, Papa.
You know?
Praise.
Bring this up. That was always in your spirit, brother.
God, which the Most High hath ordained.
Which the Most High have ordained. So the Most High ordained husband. That's why as a man, you shouldn't complain about working, brother. I really don't like to hear that type of stuff, honestly. Especially if you a type of brother, you went a while without a job. You know what I'm saying? Things was hard for you. Then the next brother got a job paying good. He complaining about it. Brother, I don't want to hear that, brother. You got a good job. Gird up thy loins.
Right.
And it is what it is. So this is the duty of a man. Take care of your household. Provide for yourself. Stop looking for women to provide for you. your mammy, right? No, man. You gotta take care of yourself as a man.
God.
And you gonna be respected more. Nobody respects a man that lives with his mama, right? In the basement, you know, eating chicken nuggets, man.
Dinosaur.
And dinosaur chicken nuggets with the ketchup.
You got letter cereal.
You got a
Ravioli.
big one.
Got that $5.
You got
Can I get $5
paper
to the
towel,
store,
beer.
mama?
They kind of, you know.
You asking your mama for money.
Hey,
For the ice
mama,
cream truck.
you kind of at the door, you kind of knock. Hey, mom. Kind of. You give me $5, I gotta get chicken nuggets, right?
Trying to get some snacks.
Mom,
that's
you
disgusting.
drinking up all the
That's a
Capri
nasty
Suns
life.
in the house. That's your little brother Capri Suns. You kind of drinking it up.
She go to McDonald's.
You arguing with your little brother.
Can't get it.
Use your body wash.
You arguing with your little brother, man, about the fruit snacks. Yeah.
He's 12.
He's 12, brother. He's 11 years old. You arguing with him about fruit snacks.
25.
Getting Happy Meals,
Yup.
the toy.
You don't know how to tie your shoes, all you wear is Velcro.
Mom, can we eat pizza tonight, mama?
Right.
McDonald's money.
Yeah. So you don't want to have that spirit. That's the point, man. As a man, you gotta provide for yourself, and it feels awesome to provide for yourself as a man.
the
It's
master
no
of the
great,
world,
bro. The feeling is wonderful, right?
I direct
When you look
deposit
down
it.
at your clothing and you understand that you bought it with your own money, that's a good feeling, man. When them bills paid, you know, you got your little car. You don't get caught up in this materialistic stuff, but
Right.
No, it's irritating to pay bills, but once you pay your own bills and you actually paid it for yourself and you got your little money to the side,
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
I do this, it'd be like,
It's a weight off your shoulders.
yeah.
yeah, you feel like you feel masculine. You get a rush. You know what I'm
Get a rush,
saying?
that's right.
It feels good to sustain yourself through the spirit and through the wisdom of the Lord.
Somebody
the
do
Lord
it.
teaches us how to sustain ourselves. We have the prophets, we have the precepts, we have the counsels, and then we have the wisdom through the spirit. And that's why we feel so grateful and thankful to the Lord and for the brotherhood. Because we have access to a lot of wisdom to endure and to know what it means to be a mighty man.
Cornmeal Charlotte.
Cornmeal Charlotte.
Cornmeal Charlotte.
Cornmeal Charlotte.
Cornmeal Charlotte.
Cornmeal Charlotte.
Come on. Right.